Hey guys, it's Tom. It's Monday night, 6:30 Eastern, and we've got SOMIFA quarterfinal. Minnesota Vikings 10-6, I believe. Seahawks 13-3. Spell it off. You may play when ready. Microphone off. Winner of this game makes the semifinals. You're going to have there under Nathan Baylor. And then the winner of the Jet-Packer game, which was supposed to be played earlier today, and it was played almost to its entirety, but we have to finish it tomorrow due to some problems that arose. I have here is Dennis getting the ball first. So it looks like Minnesota probably won the toss and deferred. And he went for a squib kickoff, it appears. Julian Edelman returned it 1 yard. Interesting. I should get in better position to call this game. Bear with me 1 minute. Egbert. Bed. Head. Up. Up. Cancel. All right, first and 10 for Dennis. Got a looking pass. Minute zone incomplete. Second down and 10. Dennis is running two tight end offense here. And Strat, in modern Strat, when we say that, we usually mean two tight ends, two wide receivers, one running back. Buck Ingram, of course, the quarterback is Russell Wilson for Dennis Seahawks. And let me just make sure. I don't want to miss this play. Dennis likes to run the ball a lot with Ingram. As Ingram left, Ingram defense calls pass, however. +5 to +0. Dwayne Brown, now also the NFL Seahawks, makes the block. 5 for Dennis. Everything here looks good. The video is muted. If that makes sense. I guess blinded would be more accurate. So we're good to go. And 3 wide, 1 halfback for the Seahawks from their own 22. Tyreek Hill is the running back, the rookie. Golden Tate and Julian Edelman, the wideout. CJ Uzoma is the tight end. And of course, the other semifinal, Houston, San Diego, which will be tomorrow night. Paul Michaelwitz at TJ. 3 wide, 1 halfback, pistol formation for Dennis. Nose tackle 0 in there for Dale. Dennis doesn't mind running it sometimes. Well, you're not going to run a linebacker with Tyreek, really. It's a pistol formation. You could see an off tackle. These outside linebackers. So 5 pass right to Marvin Jones being successfully double teamed, incomplete. Would have been a short gain on the offense's card. So shrewd double team by Dale there. Can't run correctly, then double team Marvin Jones correctly. Good defensive calls. And it's going to be 3 and out for Dennis, his first possession here. Drew Kaiser on for the punt. Defense goes for the block. It's a 51-yard punt. Down inside the 30. Tyler Lockett returning it for his own 27. Gains 4 yards. 2 and 12 look good there. 2 + 62, 12 a long gain. And Dale's going to come out with an interesting offense here after that 47-yard net punt. 4 wide, 1 halfback. Pretty much every down, unless you get into short yardage, Dale's going to be a 4 wide, 1 halfback. Jordan Howard is the halfback. He had a great year for Dale. He had an excellent game in the opening round of the playoffs. Joe Golden, rather handily. And the receivers are Stephon Diggs, Tyler Lockett, Amari Cooper, and Adam Thielen. This 4 wide all day. 1 pass Tyler Lockett. Dennis double teaming correctly. And pass rush comes in from Hoyer. It's a sack fumble. Dennis recovered it. Advance it. It looks like, I don't know if he did or not. He tries to advance it, but loses 1 yard. The sack fumble chart has a lot of good gains on it. different than the regular fumble return chart. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks at Minnesota 19. Con Sue, 5 against a 9, 1-53 sack. It was a 42. Got the sack, and KJ Wright recovered the fumble. A huge turnover. The Vikings don't turn the ball over much. And all of a sudden, they've got to play red zone defense. Be good about forcing Dennis into a 3-and-out. Run is called. 6-yard gain for England. Very solid linebacker call, I guess, right there, you see. 10-1 is unfortunate, but the rest of it looks good. That would have been 6 yards right or wrong. And you've got a 2nd down and 4 for the Seahawks at the Minnesota 13. Julius Thomas, the right tight end. C.J. Uzoma, the left. Julian Edelman, rather. Flanked wide to the right. Off tackle left for Ingram. Defense calls run. Defensive tackle +2 or +6. These tackles are not the strongest. And Nick Fairley's only a 4. Could not make the play. Dale goes 5-4-4-5 on the defensive line. He plays a 4-3 base. And suddenly it's 1st and goal at the 7-3 in the regular season. Number 2 seed in SOMIFA. Short pass right, Julian Edelman. Defense calls run. 4-minute zone. Receiver gets wrong. Incomplete. The only thing, 7. We all see that and we get it and we go, come on. How do we get that? But it's actually a 1 in 6 chance that you're going to roll that. 1 in 6 short pass wrongs will be dropped by max receiver. 7 for the Seahawks. Russell 0 for 3 in the very early going here. Dennis taking his time with this one. Short pass, Julian Edelman. Defense double teaming Mark Ingram. It's only 3 men there. Russell Wilson takes the must run into the end zone for a touchdown. Doesn't have the explosive must running or the frequency of years ago, but still a pretty decent must run column for 5 yards or more. And that's what he got there on a forwards, a 9-yard reading, 7-yard touchdown. Extra point, 2-9 and 12, but Dennis kicks it anyway. Nothing Seattle after the early sack fumble of Brian Hoyer. I have to readjust my position one more time. 1 yard deep into the end zone, a possible fumble. And the fumble split is 1-12. Fumble +12. But no fumble, as the white die was not a 1-4, but a 5. But still, it's ended up being terrible field position for Dale. He's on 11. But otherwise, he would have been out past his 20, maybe past the 25. So Stephon Diggs, defense calls pass. This time, Dennis does not double team. Defender X +2 or +8. And that's 8 yards. Bryce McCann, the 5, could not make the play. 2nd down and 2. Now that Dennis has that early lead, maybe we won't see quite as much doubling as he maybe makes Minnesota try to earn type of a drive. Dennis has a nose tackle 5. Flat fest left to Stephon Diggs. Defense double teaming Jordan Howard, so forget about that. Receiver gets right, -1. 3rd down and 3. That's a big benefit against this Viking team. Spreads the field. That your defensive line is 5-5-5. The nose tackle 5 particularly. That guy nerfed down to a 4 pretty easily. Makes the linebacker for Howard more appealing. Also, we'll see how Dale plays it. I'm sure he'll still see it. We'll still see it. I wonder if we'll see it less often. Howard had a tremendous year for Dale this week. These teams played in the regular season and Dennis won. And Howard had a great game in that game. Jordan Howard. Dennis calls run now from the nickel 3-3-5, bringing that linebacker up. But Howard gets right, gets 4 yards. This is why one of the reasons Dale can run, one of the main reasons Dale can run this 4 wide so effectively is Jordan Howard's linebacker and off tackle right columns are very strong. You're getting 2, 3, 4 yards, sometimes more on his card. And then, of course, the defense generally doesn't have anybody there. Stuff there. Linebacker Jordan Howard, defense double teaming Amari Cooper, double box in play, as it will be on every linebacker. Nose tackle +1 or +12. And a 5. See, Dale gets that as a 12-yard gain against most teams. Not a ton of nose tackle 5s in this particular set, I don't think. That's for a 4-3 team. It has to be defensive tackle 6 playing that position. Although there's more of those. I'm going just on what seems to be the case that it can count up the numbers, so don't hold me to that statement. My position here, a little uncomfortable, but I don't want to miss any action. There's a draw off tackle for Jordan Howard, called correctly by Dennis. Good for him. It's a 1-yard loss. 3rd and 10. That would have been no gain anyway, but still. 3rd and 10. 4 wide, 1 halfback. Melvin Gordon checks in passing situations. Does not usually see the rock. You don't have to worry too much with the draw on 3rd and long by Minnesota. Bed, foot, down, down, cancel. Short pass, Adam Thielen, Foreman in zone. 1 blitz on for Dennis. Bobby Wagner splits out to cover that zone. As a must run for Brian Hoyer, no gain. Brian Hoyer, not exactly Russell Wilson. With the must run card with 2 is 3 yards. That's many quarterbacks who can't get to a yard and must run too easily. But Hoyer is one of them. Coffin corner punt goes 44 yards. It ended up being like a 27-yard net. As Dale trying to keep the ball away from Tyreek Hill for 17 yards. Penalty on the Coffin corner. So Tyreek Hill making, with his punt return card, making his presence felt. Oh, he didn't even get to use his own column. But a 27-yard net, Dennis will take that. An outstanding field position midway through the first quarter and already a 7-0 lead. The lineup for Ingram, games 5 in the defense's card. No one watching the game. Had a bit of an early start. Most of these games will start around 8 o'clock or so, it seems like. Kicked off at 6:30 Eastern. 2nd down and 5 for Seattle. Linebacker Mark Ingram, defense calls run, and floods 1 flat, giving Dennis an option at a long pass number wrong. Offensive onside center. To the center, it's always onside. It's only 1 guy. There is no side. It's right in the middle. Offensive center, +12 or +4. Matt Slauson is a 5. Makes the block, 12-yard gain. I traded Dennis Matt Slauson either this year or last year. I forget when. Linebacker for Ingram. Defense calls run and floods the exact same flat. Defensive right tackle, -1 to +9, but he's only a 4. Right die 5, gains 9. These defensive tackle 4s are a liability for Dale. Bringing up a linebacker occasionally. He was flooding the flat. Maybe he wants to bring the safety into the run zone instead. Against the run, but you can do a run key 3 just by bringing your safety up. That's something I want to experiment with. A stout 4-3 with great corners. You run key a lot with the safety, pick a zone. 2nd and 1, linebacker Mark Ingram. Defense gets his pass. Offensive center, 12 of 4. That time Slauson could not make the block, but it's still a 1st down for the Seahawks. 7 carries for 47 yards. Had an excellent season for Dennis. Should have a good card next year. 2 years ago, looking a lot better now. 4:48 to go. Dennis plays very quickly. Short pass, Marvin Jones. Defense calls pass. Double teams elsewhere. Receiver gets right as 14 yards and a first down. One of the more dangerous receivers in the strat. And Dennis goes full out backfield. Chris Ivory's the third back. He does have a bit of a fumble number. So I don't know if you want to see him getting the ball too much. Russell could always run on a linebacker. That's his bad guard. So his short yardage offense. Tackle right to Ingram. Linebacker in zone -1 +3. It's a 3-yard gain. Dennis targeting Shea McClellan, who has a run rating of 0. Attack both of these outside linebackers. And it's going to go 0 for 0. So they're not equipped for short yardage defense. I'll probably try to pound this in, certainly from the 2. Second goal for the 2. Maybe a linebacker to Russell in the offing. And he's going behind 5-6-4 on that right side. That's why he did that off tackle. Ingram being successfully run keyed. And a 2-yard loss. Good call by Dale and a big loss for Dennis. Only been -1 on right. Sets up a 3rd and goal from the 4. Dennis is a home team, so Dale using the average pass defense guards. Dennis has the good ones. The interception, 2, 6, and 12, the defense guard. And we're left to Ingram. No linebackers there, but defense calls run. Defensive end, +5 or +18. Cliff Averill is a 5, but it's a 5-yard gain anyway. Touchdown, Mark Ingram. Going to go up 14-0 if they make the extra point. 2 to 9 and 12, it's good. 14-0 set, a late first quarter. Only up against it. Here's a kick 8 yards deep into the end zone for Patterson. He takes it out. That's a 23-yard return. But that's only to the 15. You just cost yourself 10 yards of field position. Patterson had to get 33 yards or more in that return. 25. He only has that result on a 2 or 3. Well, of course, 2 is a touchdown. But I would argue that that's 108 yards on a 2 on a 1 of 36. No. They're giving up more yardage than that, I think, if you look at the other numbers compared to the 25. But some people say, oh, I'm going to roll for the touchdown, but okay. If you think about it, if you're starting at the 15, I'm just on this 8 roll. You're giving him 10 yards, it's 50 yards right there. Long pass to Amari Cooper. Defense calls pass, 1 linebacker there. 1 defensive back there, right? 1 man there. Dump off is incomplete from Horry to Lockett. Five pass left from Amari Cooper. Guess right, 7-yard completion. Get rolling with this flat pass right offense. And we're still early in this game. His team is still reeling, so we don't know what's going to happen yet. But this is a big 3rd down right off the bat. Late first quarter, 1:30 to go. It's 3rd and 3. You're at your own 22. It's Dennis Crowley, who has Tyreek Hill back there for the punt as well. Your first call from corner only went for 27 yards. That's left to Cooper. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 5 linebacker there. Cooper covered by a 5. That's right, a 6 yards in a first down. Dale needed that. As he tries to get something on this drive. 14-0 here late in the first quarter. Nathan Bello listening in the studio audience. His Falcons await an opponent in the semifinal. Flat pass right to Adam Thielen being double teamed. 8 is incomplete. 5s for all of his short pass defenders. The 4 extra defensive backs covering the 3rd receiver, Tyler Lockett. It was a 5. Now, Brian Horner did not have a good long pass right guard. Linebacker Jordan Howard is a linebacker there. Did not go for the draw play. Gets a 9 on the white die. It's a 3-yard pickup for Howard. Makes it a 3rd and 7. Second quarter underway. 4 wide, 1 halfback. Dump off can help this team. Hard to blitz them. Here it's only 3rd and 7. Amari Cooper. Dennis is blitzing one. Defense double teaming Cooper successfully also. Incomplete with 4 men. And Minnesota left the punt for the second time. Just from their own 31. The last one was a 27-yard net as they're trying to keep it away from Tyreek Hill. This time he punts it clean or punts it away. 57 yards down to the 12-yard line. The dangerous Tyreek Hill. 8-10 yards. You can see why. Oh, Dale's opponent punt return is +8, +10 long gain. So now you got Tyreek Hill with a touchdown on 3, a long gain on 12. 25 yards on 6. Some very good returns in there for the Seahawks in this matchup. You got a off tackle left to Mark Ingram. Defense gets the pass. Defensive tackle +2, +6. These guys are 4s, and they're not doing the job so far tonight. You got a 1 in 12 chance at a long gain or better return against the Vikings. You got an 8 in 36 chance for 25 yards or better. 6 of 19 yards or better. 2nd and 4 for the Seahawks at their own 28. Long pass, CJ Uzomah. Defense double teaming correctly. And the good double team forces an incompletion. That would have been a must run. 5 for 14 yards, but his team has the lead. They had the turnover. They recovered a sack fumble at the Viking 19. After Seattle was forced into a 3-and-out on their first possession. Seattle did receive the ball first. The Vikings will get it to start the second half. Ingram's been strong for Dennis. Your tackle's been working. And so they flooded it again. Flat pass right to Julius Thomas. Guessed wrong, but 2 men in zone. All right, 6 is an 8-yard gain and a first down. Seahawks up to their own 36. Flat pass left to Mark Ingram. Defense calls run. 10 yards and a first down. Wouldn't be surprised if you see some short passing from Dennis soon. Dale's bringing up that safety. So, yes, you want to beat him over the top. But the short pass is a safer play. Short pass, Marvin Jones. There it is. Dump off for 3 yards. But a fumble. Minnesota recovers it. Dale recovers the fumble. The Seattle 49. Will he try to advance or just fall on it? Shea McClellan tried to advance up, lost a yard. Nothing the offense can do about that. The old wide receiver fumble. No matter who you have, receiver fumble, nothing you can do about it. So a big turnover gives the Vikings the ball at midfield exactly. But now let's see if they can do something with it. You know, it's been a sputtering offense here tonight. Off tackle left to Jordan Howard. Defense calls run as a linebacker, and they're good for Dennis. Offensive onside tackle +6 and +1. You're not going to get a lot of blocking ratings with this line. All 4s except for a left guard 5, and then from the multiple wide receiver formation down to a 0, nerfed down by 1. In this case, they're all 0s except for the left guard 4, Ramon Foster. 2nd and 9 for the Vikings. Linebacker draw to Jordan Howard. Defense calls pass. Now the double box is in play as Dennis put Wagner in the line of scrimmage. It would have been anyway, but dreaded 5 is no gain. There's for 8 yards. Not the Jordan Howard we're used to seeing, but it's still early second quarter. Kings, they need another big 3rd down conversion here. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. This is not the Vikings' forte. It's 3rd and long unless they can get a dump off. Dennis has been blitzing this left outside and sliding Wagner over. That's Lorenzo Alexander, 45-12-8. And they, sure enough, Dale anticipated that. There was a looking pass, but this time Dennis stayed home with Bobby Wagner. It's only a 2-yard completion. That would have been 10 yards in the first down if Dennis had slid out. I've done this a couple of times. Let me not do it again and give him an open zone. And he's rewarded by forcing Minnesota into a 4th and 7 from the Seattle 47. Minnesota will show. Minnesota's going to go for it. Bad move. I was going to say they will surely punt here. At least get the field position going, try to play some defense. He's had some decent defensive play calls, but this reeks of desperation. It's the early second quarter. You're only down 14-0. You can punt and pin the guy. And your defense is not playing that badly, really. Give it one drive. You've been double teaming correctly, flooding correctly. All past Stephon Diggs being double teamed. Dale needs a dump off, I guess. Gets a dump off +2 or +8, but it's only a 2-yard completion. Kenny Vaccaro, the 4, making the play against the 4. And he turned it over and down to Seattle's own 45. I don't like that call for Mr. Ripley. Mr. Ripley. I did not see that movie. Someone else checks in the studio audience. It sounds like Bradley Lane. No, maybe not. And we got a linebacker to Mark Ingram, right tackle -1 or +9. He's a 4. It's a 6 +9. Nick Fairley being abused here by the Seattle offense in the first half. 2nd and 1 Seahawks at the Minnesota 46. They lead 14-0. They're looking for more. They've had 3 drives in very good field position, 2 in very good field position, 1 in outstanding field position, which was in the red zone. Linebacker Russell Wilson on 2nd and 1 saves a carry. 8 to 7-yard gain. There's more than that. Ingram could not have done any better. And so the Seahawks have a first down at the Minnesota 39. 8:42 to go in the first half. How many playoff games have I called in the last couple of years? And it just looks like one of those ones where Seattle's going to do what they want here, do what they need to do. Be difficult to stop and pull ahead for a convincing victory. Let's see if that happens. So tackle right to Mark Ingram. Defense calls run. Offensive onside tackle 8 to +3. Nate Solder makes the block. So Dennis has got offensive tackle 5s against defensive tackle 4s. And a pretty good running card. And Dale's been calling a fair amount of run, but Dennis is hitting the blocking and the opponent defense. And then a few yards and Ingram here or there. Linebacker Russell Wilson on 2nd and 2. Guess right. 2 yards and a first down. Saving a carry. Ingram's only got 9 and 2 carries left. Halfway through the first half. Interesting. I don't remember who Dennis's primary backup running back is. And Chris Ivory line. There's a linebacker. Ingram gets right, no gain. I know there's somebody he brought in. Not Alfred Morris. I think that was Nathan's team as had Alfred Morris. Second and 10 Seattle at the Minnesota 29. 6:54 to go in the first half. The short pass, Marvin Jones. Defense calls run for the flat. Receiver gets wrong. 20 yards on Mr. Jones' card. He's got all kinds of nice yardage. 13 to 14 is your worst, but it's a very good yardage there. 6 units of long gain, plus 15, 16, 18. First and goal at the 9 for the Seahawks. Russell now 5 of 9 for 55 yards. Not exactly lighting it up, but he did start out 0-3. Next, short pass, Julian Edelman, play action touchdown for Wilson Edelman. 20 to nothing. Here comes the extra point, 2-9 and 12 for Robbie Gould, the veteran. It's up and good, 21-0 Seahawks. Went for that 4th and 7 at the Seattle 45. The kick goes 1 yard deep. He's going to take it out. Patterson gets a 35-yard return this time. So let's take that, Tom. And, 1 yard deep is not 8 yards deep, right? Makes a little more sense for Patterson to take it out from 1 yard deep. 21-0 Seattle. Long pass to Amari Cooper. Defense stays home with the safety 5. 2 to 7 on the good cards, but incomplete on the 9. That's only 2 to 5 and 12 on the average pass defense. But either way, Brian Hoyer, South Destroyer, 6 of 10 for 24 yards. Average gain, 2.4 if you're scoring at home. Long pass to Amari Cooper again. Defense stays home. 1 blitz on. It's Arendo Alexander, the 45-12-8. Defends back in zone X or plus 29, and Hooper makes a catch. White die 6 on against the defender 5 for the Vikings to the Seattle 37. Jordan Howard's at least a 5 pass blocking matchup against Alexander, who came from nowhere to have a bunch of sacks in the 2016 NFL season. Long pass, Adam Thielen. Defense gets him pass, blitzing Taylor, 10 on Hoyer's card, incomplete. Not going to do a lot of damage. Column of Ryan Hoyer's 3 and 10. Sorry, 3 and 12. 3 units, 3 being the long gain. But at least the pick is only 2 to 4, I guess. Dale did a great job with this team this year. Flat pass right to Tyler Lockett. Defense calls pass. Dale throwing at the linebacker 4 this time. Defender plus 2 or plus 8, 8 yards. Sets up 3rd and 2. Seattle really could have used a defender to help with that play, but there wasn't one on the field. How'd that happen? He must have dropped his the extra back into long pass. So 3rd and 2 for the Vikings at the Seattle 29. Flat pass left, Stephon Diggs throwing at the 5. That zone's not really been flooded. Defense double teaming Jordan Howard. Receiver gets right, -1. 4th and 3. You're down 21-0, 3:18 to go. You're all going to get the ball to start the second half. Field goal here. If they're going for 4th and 7 at the 47. The kick is up and it's good. 2-11 and 12. I really wish he had punted on the previous possession. Who knows what would have happened, but made it a lot easier for Dennis's offense. Dennis's kick return opportunity is 4 yards deep into the end zone for Cyrus Jones, who will down it. First and 10 at their own 25. This could be a real quick game. Kicked off shortly at just about 6:31, 6:32. And a half hour into it, we're almost at halftime. Pace for Packers Jets was a little slower. Would be the word. Long pass Marvin Jones. Defense double teaming elsewhere. And dump off is good for 13 yards from Russell to Mark Ingram. It usually has a good pass blocking. I think he has a 7 everywhere except for the right guard, 0-5. Long pass Marvin Jones. Defense again, double teaming Edelman. Dump off for 5 yards. Julius Thomas. You have a 2nd and 5 for Seattle. 2-minute warning. Now, normally you see some runs here, right? But Ingram only has 8 unfatigued carries. 5 pass left to Ingram. Defense calls run. Receiver gets wrong, plus 11 yards in the first down. So you got to know Ingram's running low on carries. It's almost still the first half. And you make Dennis burn that carry by calling pass. Tough call. How much do I set up for later in the game, and how much do I just do what I think, call what I think the guy's going to do? And you're already down 21-3. 1:37 to go. Minnesota 46. Up 21-3, looking for more. A touchdown here would almost seal the game. You hate to see that at halftime. 5 pass right, Julius Thomas, even successful double teaming, incomplete. Last time you had a big playoff game and someone came down from 28-3. Oh, wait a minute. That was the Super Bowl I heard in the NFL last year. 2nd and 10 for the Seahawks. 1:30 to go. Dennis probably manages his clock in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the half. I could learn from that. 2nd down and 10. Long pass Marvin Jones. Defense now double teaming Jones. Dump off incomplete for Ingram. 3rd and 10. That's why Dennis wasn't trying to save too much clock. Doesn't leave any time for the Vikings, or enough, or certainly doesn't leave a lot of time for the Vikings if he does have to punt. 3rd and 10. Now there's no tackle zeros there. Dennis will run draws. Zeros. If Russell had a better card, you might still see them run for Russell. It also saves one of Ingram's carries. Side run here. A linebacker for Ingram. He does have the center 5. He's popped that plus 12 at least once tonight on the center plus 12 or plus 4 against the 4-3. And run left, Ingram testing that outside linebacker 0. And 12 is a long game Ingram's card. There's no containment. First down. Outside linebacker 0 fails the containment. Dennis knows the personnel, knows the rules. 30-yard pickup. 30-yard pickup. Ingram 15 carries, 105 yards now in the first half, and a touchdown. All at the Minnesota 16, 3 timeouts, 52 seconds left. You couldn't have set it up any better. And the Seahawks looking to make it a 28-3 game. Well, he'll settle for 24-3, begrudgingly. If I know Mr. Crowley. Linebacker Mark Ingram, defense calls pass. 4-yard gain for Ingram. Dennis says, I'll run through these carries here. If it gets me to 23, then I'll take my chances the rest of the way. He was back up running back in. I don't think he has Chris Thompson on this team. No, I played against Chris Thompson earlier. He might have something like a Robert Turbin type. 2nd and 6, only 30 seconds to go. So Dennis will start using timeouts here as needed. Short pass ball, getting good form in there. Pass is called. A sack. Recovers the sack fumble. So Wilson was sacked by the veteran Cliff Averill as if it was a Seattle Seahawks NFL scrimmage. This pushes the Hawks back to the Minnesota 21. Now it's going to be 3rd and 15. And then it does call timeout. I thought you might let the clock run here some because you may be thinking, I'm probably not going to get it anyway. Now, here you'll probably see them on Russell Wilson because 3rd and 15. Gets you, keep you in better field goal range. You're testing the outside linebacker 0. If Wilson has anything on his card, plus that, conservative. He's happy to throw it. I mean, that'll be, that'll certainly get you to 24-3 if you have any kind of kicker. And then right for Ingram. Okay, he was much more dangerous, of course. Carry. 3rd and 15. And right at 5, no gain. Ingram did have 12 units of short gain or better. Minnesota can call timeout if they wish. They have the full complement. And they do. So they're going to get a kick return in 1 or 2 plays here. Robbie Gould comes out for a 38-yard field goal attempt. It's up and good, 2-10. Seattle goes up 24-3 in the Vikings. 8 seconds to go in the half. Goes for the squib kick here. He does. Only to the 28-yard line, returned 8 yards by one of the upbacks, Virgil Green. And the Vikings have first down. Who cares what down it is? Only 1 second left. 1st and 10 at their own 36. Up with Jordan Howard, long gain. Dennis goes down through 6, so no threat of a run call. If Howard can go 64, I think he can. I think he's got a 71-yarder on the card. Is that him? 69. Virgil Green on special teams for the Vikings. Tough to get down to the field from the scrimmage if you're a Minnesota tight end. All best Stefan Diggs. Stephen's double teaming elsewhere, but he's got 2 men back. So 3 on the offensive squad, virtually the only thing. On gain, complete for 31 yards just as the half expires. Just a little bit of a tease there for Dale. Yes, with the obligatory good half. After being down 24-3. It was a very good half for Dennis, certainly. The As I said, the Green Bay New York Jets game was not finished today. I got close to ending the game. Ron was called into work unexpectedly, and it will be completed tomorrow morning. Game up to date right now. And it's been a crazy game. Dennis asks Dale if he needs a break. Dale says my team needs a break, but I'm ready. Kick goes 9 yards deep. Here comes Cordell Patterson, returning it short of the 25. He had him short, yes. Throw out, wants that touchdown, I guess. So 6 is 29 yards. Cost himself 5 yards of field position. Off tackle left, Jordan Howard defense calls pass. Shokin Howard, his best run of the day, had a lackluster first half, 6 carries for 8 yards after his outstanding performance against the Giants in the wildcard round and a great regular season for Minnesota. But that he can get things going here in the second half. And he's going to give him a shot here. Off tackle right to Howard. There's a linebacker there. Only 1 yard. No one here can block except for Ramon Foster. And even he is brought down to a 4 by the 4 wide halfback offense. Short pass, Stephon Diggs. Just like that, we have another long third down for Minnesota. 9. 4 wide, 1 halfback, shotgun formation. Pass Amari Cooper. Must run goes nowhere for Brian Hoyer, like many of his must runs, like all of his must runs. And after Minnesota gets an encouraging Jordan Howard, they have to punt just a few plays later. The punt goes 53 yards down to the 20 for Tyreek Hill. Got a few more attention when he's back there. That's it. That's not the type of attention that Tyreek was hoping to draw to himself, but he fumbles the punt. Coverage of the Seattle 14. The chance to get back in the game right here. It's like Dennis got that sack fumble. Minnesota 19, linebacker Jordan Howard, defense calls pass. They're looking for double box action right here. Center block only gains 2. With blocking readings, they're not going to help him. Minnesota can punch it in here. It's 24-10. Game reset. Here, then you're going to get a stop and a score. Stop and a score, score and a stop. A 2nd and 8. Guess what? Dale's in the 4 wide. Linebacker Jordan Howard. Dennis does have a man there. Bobby Wagner. White dive rears its ugly head. No gain. 8. Howard 10 carries, 21 yards. Dale says, I got to get this, man. I got to get a touchdown here. I need this 3rd down conversion. He's been double teaming adroitly on 3rd and long. Dale tried to trip him up with a looking pass when Wagner was sliding out a couple of times. Fall for it. Well, I need a play. Fly pass left, Stephon Diggs. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Dale needs a wide dice 6 here. It's a 3 short game, right and wrong on Hoyer's guard. Diggs catches the flat, runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Only 24-9. Phil Dawson on for the extra point, which is a big one. 2-11. It's up been good. 24-10. Entire half of football to play. And Dale going for the squib kick. Goes 16 yards. Goes to the 16-yard line. No return. And the Seahawks will have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 16. Linebacker Mark Ingram. On the wrong call, gains 4. It's interesting. I wonder if the guy has a bad kick returner. Kick coverage. Maybe it's worth it a squib kick. Maybe get him short of 25 more often than not and to get the fumble optional line. I need to look into that. Second down is 6 for Seattle. They're on 20. Maybe before I resume my game, we're on tomorrow. Off tackle left to Rex Burkhead. That's right. Rex Burkhead is a reserve back for the Seahawks. Trade at 5 on the Burkhead. There's no gain. You see he's got the tricky card without the short game reading. The plus 15 and plus 16 on 6 and 7, actually slightly better than a short game because 15 yards would be the average. A little more than that because 7 is 16 yards. 3rd and 6 for Seattle. This would be a big stop for Minnesota, but Dale Dennis has been hot on offense tonight. You feel like Dale's got a hard time stopping him here. Flat pass right to Edelman. Receiver gets right -2. So much for that. It was only a 4. And Seattle's got to punt it again. And all of a sudden, Dennis is like, okay, don't do this to me, Strat-o-matic. Drew Kaiser punts it. It's a 48-yard punt. For Marcus Sherrills, who calls a fair catch, he is not quite Tyreek Hill, but he's pretty dangerous. Long gain. Dennis goes up a long gain on punts this year as well. And it's 24-10, Seattle leading. This is where the Vikings can really get back into the game. 8:42 to go in the third quarter. His bread has been buttered by Jordan Howard all year. I bet he gets a run here, maybe off tackle. Dennis has called enough run. Looking past Jordan Howard. Dennis calls run. The zone is vacated. So Minnesota looking for a 10-yard plus pickup here. Instead, interceptions split 2 or 12. Not the result you're looking for when you throw a flat pass, no man. Other way when Joe Golden suffered that result, I believe. Or was it Mick suffered that result with Ben Roethlisberger against Nathan? Nathan won the game going away. Pass Tyler Lockett. Defense double teaming correctly on 2nd and 9. Complete. Plus 16 all right. So Dennis saves himself first down with that 2nd down and 9 to correct the double team. 40, but 31 of the yards of that came on a last-second Hail Mary well short of the end zone at the end of the half. Only 73 yards passing outside of that one play, which was a fruitless play. A statistical play only. Short pass to Amari Cooper. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Dennis says double team Cooper most third downs. Only 3 men back there now. Defender X or plus short gain. And White Die 6 beats Sean Smith's 5. Completion from Horry to Amari Cooper gives the Vikings a new set of downs and a desperately needed 3rd and long conversion where they had been struggling. They did get the flat pass touchdown on their previous possession on 3rd and long. First and second here. Looking past Adam Thielen. Bobby Wagner stays home. Defense double teaming Jordan Howard. Receiver gets right 9 yards. Vikes at the Seattle 38. Can you keep it going? Dale said, just keep it going, please. Flat pass left, Jordan Howard. Defense double teaming Amari Cooper. And White Die 6. 2 long gain. Could be a touchdown. No. 34 yards on a flat pass. White Die 6. Snake Eyes long game would have been a touchdown, but however, can only go 34 yards. But it's a first and goal for the Vikings of the Seattle 4. Dennis's inside linebackers are both 5s against the run. Linebacker Melvin Gordon. Very good. But he finds 8 plus 2 yards. 2nd and goal from the 2. Vikings go 6-5-5 on the interior of the offensive line from this full house. Running backs. Steven Anderson, no threat to run the ball. Dennis has the good pass defense cards. I'll be scared. Linebacker Jordan Howard. Defense calls run. Everyone inside. No run key. Linebacker right part of zone. 0 plus 4. No gain. Brandon Marshall's a 5. The White Die was a 4. Howard's got 21 yards rushing, 11 carries, and 34 yards receiving. Putting goal from the 2. And so they're going to smash it in there one more time. Try to get a blocking reading on one of these 6.55s. maybe Melvin Gordon up the middle. You haven't seen an end run. Howard can do the end run. Linebacker Jordan Howard being run keyed. Dale needs the defense's card here. +2 or +0. Touchdown on a white die 4, the blocking 4. This is strong run key. And it's 24-16. Phil Dawson makes it 17. 24-17. Vikings coming back from 24-3. The squib kick has been helpful. We'll see if he does another one of those. He does. This one ends up with a kick down to the 25, a 1-yard return by Marvin Jones. 1st and 10 for Sale. Their own 26, 4:12 to go in the third quarter. It was easy. Although sometimes Dennis can make it look easy. Remember, Mark Ingram blowing attempts. Rex Burkhead in here for the second straight possession. Off tackle left, Rex Burkhead gets wrong. 7 + 16 yards. Don't go to sleep on Mr. Burkhead, folks. He'll take your wrong calls. He'll take his +15, +16, +7, +6, and he'll matriculate the ball. Right hand extreme is to say, down the field. Short pass Marvin Jones, correct double team. Incomplete. 4 men in zone. Defender Rex or Shorking gets right. And that was right, with 3 men rather. And that was a white die 6. He's got 5s at corner. Yes, he's got 5s in the whole secondary. Burkhead's still in there, 2nd and 10. It's a good spot that Dennis will often do an off tackle here with Burkhead. A timely run call could be helpful. Maybe Dennis mixes it up knowing that. Maybe throws a flat pass. Pretty safe play. Off tackle left to Burkhead. The linebacker there gets wrong. Defensive tackle -1 +2. Yards again that time because Dale plugged the hole successfully. Even though he called pass, it would have been a 9-yard gain, I think. Game without the proper run zone plug. And Dennis has got a big 3rd and 8 at his own 44. Stays too tight, but with Tyreek Hill in the backfield now. Could see an end run to Tyreek Hill. Under 25 carries. He can run the ball on any 3rd down? Or is he in there just for receiving purposes? Short pass Julian Edelman covered by 5. Foreman there. Incomplete on Russell's card on 8. To Marcus Sherrills. And the Vikings can tie the game. Drew Kazer's punt goes 47 yards. Down around the 11 for Sherrills. And Sherrills calls a fair catch for the 2nd straight time. Set his 9-yard line, rather. (24-17). 4 wide, 1 halfback for Jordan Howard. Off tackle right for Howard. Guess is wrong, but the white die is in play, so it's only a 4-yard gain for Jordan. Would have been +6 from a regular formation. Assuming Dennis would have called pass. 1:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. 24-17 Seattle. 6 their own 13. Flat pass right to Jordan Howard. Nobody there. Well, he is covered by the outside linebacker 5. Defense calls pass, but guess wrong. It's 12 yards. Because I believe Dennis was double teaming down the field with his linebacker. Outside linebacker vacating that zone for the downfield double team, creates a wrong call. 12 yards on a 1st down from Horry to Howard. Would have been 7 on right. Off tackle left for Howard. No linebackers there. Dennis doubling Tyler Lockett. Howard's card, 2nd and 5. It's 14 for 32. He only had 1 run better than that, probably. He had a short gain early in the 1st half for 10 yards. Might have had a 6-yard in there somewhere. I'm not sure. Dale wants to run it here. Dennis doesn't really want to call a run. Look at best. Adam Thielen, correct double team. Could still get something in the quarterback card, but 9 is incomplete. 10 was +7. All units of completion. Correct flat double team. And this game is now in the 4th quarter. less than 1 hour after kickoff. Just like Ron and I. It's a joke, son. So they built too low to the ground. 3rd and 5 for Minnesota. So the field position helping Dennis here. Flat pass left, Adam Thielen. He was double teaming elsewhere. Linebacker in zone, extra short gain, incomplete. KJ Wright makes the play. Breathes a sigh of relief as he gets ready to receive the ball back. Tyreek Hill has not done much in terms of returning, but there was a call from corner that went not very far. Yale goes for the call from corner again. This one's a 39-yard net. Probably better than 40-yard to Tyreek Hill in this matchup. And then it takes over in probably most matchups. 1st and 10 from his own 31. You can't just let him run the ball with Rex Burkhead. He's got a decent call. Guess wrong. Oh, there's a run call. Off tackle right to Burkhead. Guess right is only a 2-yard gain. What do here? It's +8 on wrong. Look at his stats. He runs the ball with Burkhead as runner. 2nd down and 8. Again, thinks that Dale's not going to do it. There it is. Off tackle left to Rex Burkhead. Dale doesn't do it. Defensive tackle +1 and +7. This time the 4 makes the play for the first time. Speaking of those defensive tackles, rather. And it was timely because we're in the 4th quarter. Down, and he wants to get the ball back. 3rd and 7 for Seattle now. Throwing 34. Big 3rd down. Also not quite as sharp in this situation as he was in years past. And well, he should have a good card next year. Bad. His running was just a little better in past years. Of course, he'd played the injury that year, the knee injury. 3rd and 7. Short pass, Julius Thomas. Defense gets a pass through in there. Intercepted 2 to 4 left. The defense's card. Picked off by Dale at the Seattle 49. He's going to try to run it back, and he's getting good yardage. So there's one of the end zone. 25-yard return. Adams, he only had 3 men in zone. That was 2 to 4, 11 and 12, or a first down. And Dennis had the misfortune of rolling the 4. It's a 1 and 4 shot, 9 and 36. And Dale returned the interception 25 yards. The first turnover by the Seahawks. 2 turnovers by the Seahawks. Dale's got 1. And we're at the Seattle 24. And it's sort of 1st and 10. Flat pass right to Stephon Diggs, throwing at a 4. Where? Receiver gets right. Boxcars, +9. 2nd down to 1, Minnesota. At the Seattle 15. Full house backfield. Melvin Gordon checks in. Dennis doesn't want me to call the Houston-San Diego game tomorrow night. Linebacker to Jordan Howard against a short yardage. Don't run a draw play on 2nd and 1. Like from the full house backfield. Oh, my goodness. Folks, if you go full house backfield, don't run a draw play, please. Okay? I don't care if you know the rules. My gosh. It's the 4th quarter. You're only down. It's a perfect spot. 3rd and 2 for the Vikings. The Seattle 16. That's about. I don't want to kill you, Dale, but that's in there. And run left to Jordan Howard on 3rd and 2 from the 4 wide. The white guys in play, loses 5 yards. Down at the 11-yard line, but you're going to run a draw on 2nd and 1 from a full house. Now you're going to try a field goal. I says, thank you very, very much. Sorry, Dale. I don't mean to be so harsh, but kick is up and good. 3-yarder. Makes it 24-20, but Minnesota golden opportunity, and they really shot themselves in the foot. Don't run a draw play from a full house. The kick goes 24. The guys, there's a very good chance the guy's going to call run. What are you hoping to accomplish there? Maybe there's some crazy circumstances, like you're bringing Tyreek Hill to play halfback, and he's coming by 0, and the guy thinks you're going to throw a bomb. Just run the ball without a draw play. Maybe click the wrong. I don't know, maybe click the wrong thing. Short pass Marvin Jones. Defense double teaming correctly. 9 to complete on Russell's card. That's right. Yep. And a completion that's wrong. Russell's got the must run at 9 and 10 this year. whole full house draw. 2nd and 10 for the Seahawks. At their own 25, Shrippers, Marvin Jones. He's double teaming correctly again. Picked off through the 2nd 12, picked off again. This time they Seattle 40. Minnesota with a 20-yard return. Team created 4-minute zone, a 2-6 and 12 interception. Picked off by Ron Parker, returned 20 yards. Dennis says, "Are you kidding me?" 9:54 to go in the game. Minnesota trails 24-20. 4 wide, 1 halfback. Now he's got to get into the end zone. I mean, if he doesn't, you'll kick the field goal. You're down by 1. I understand. But let's make a good effort here. Let's see. Linebook, Jordan Howard, Dennis Cole's run. Okay. At least it wasn't a draw. And +5. The defense scored on the 8. Nothing you can do with that if you're Dennis Crowley. Howard under 2 yards to carry. 17 rushes for 31 yards. Jordan Howard defense gets the pass. The doubling Jordan Howard. Double box in play. 19 yards, touchdown. 15-yard run. Jordan Howard in the double box. Found this 2nd consecutive interception. This one on a double team correctly. But on the defense's card. And 12 or something like that. 2-11. And it's good on an 11. Kings have scored 24 unanswered points against Dennis Crowley. And they lead by a field goal with 9 minutes to go in the game. Squib kick. And Seahawks will get a first down. They're on 27. Dennis has to feel annoyed. Not the likeliest of turnovers in those 2 occasions. You can live with 1. You don't want to see 2. And now he has to score with 8:42 to go in the 4th quarter. Well, if that left the Burkett guess correctly, but Snake guys is +6. Good Dale on the run call there. With Burkett in the game, it's such little time on the clock. A lot of guys would say he's not going to run it. 2nd and 4 for Seattle, their own 33. Burkett's still in there. I'm going a little low in attempts. Burkett. Flat pass left to Burkett. Yes. Defender -3 or -1. The play Dennis loses 3 yards. Those flat pass defender minuses, maybe there's too many of them. In really bad situations, or maybe even unrealistic situations. So in 2nd and 4, I'm going to throw a nice little flat pass to 3rd and 7, needing his man, Russell Wilson, to come through. Marcus Sherrill's back there. He's got a touchdown at 3 and there's a long lead on 12. It's a 1-12 shot at a huge play. If he can stop Dennis right here. Short pass Tyreek Hill being covered by 4. Must run, no gain, statistical sack for Nick Fairley, who's been much maligned here tonight. And hope for a good one for Drew Kaiser. The bunt goes 51 yards, down inside the Minnesota 20. And it looks like it's going to be Tyler Lockett, the 2-back returning it. Snake Eyes, 62-yard return for Lockett. All the way to the Seattle 19. Oh, my stars and garters. At Dennis's last 3 possessions, intercepted 2 to 4, 11 and 12 for first down, picked off in his own territory. Double team, short pass, 4-man, picked off 2 to 6 and 12 in his own territory. And a 51-yard punt returned 62 yards by Tyler Lockett. Flat pass left, Stephon Diggs. Correct double team. Dennis get a turnover here in the correct double team. 1-18 shot. Incomplete. Minnesota's got to be you got to want a touchdown here. Touchdown here, and you probably make the semifinals. We'll go on a 6-point lead, so you can watch Dennis come back and win with a touchdown. But the 6 is still there. Defense guesses correctly. Dale wanting like a +7 here. Receiver gets right, +4, 3rd and 6. You have to. Dennis has got the good pass defense card. Dale doesn't want to get picked off. What to do? KJ Wright's a 6. Brandon Marshall's a 5. Against the run. Linebook draw could still be an option. Dump off still very much in play. Short pass Stephon Diggs. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 4 men there. Diggs covered by 5. Huge play 12, and the defensive 4-man 11 yards and a first down at the Seattle 4-yard line. Can Dale punch, and he's staying 4 wide from the 4. That's not what he usually does, and I disapprove of this message. Well, short pass, Tyler Lockett, defense run King Jordan Howard. There were 4 men, 2, 7, 12, interception on a 9. Intercepted 2. Howard's card incomplete on Hoyer's card. Only 60 units of short pass wrong completion, but the receiver's in play. And Dale's going to again go 4 wide with a halfback. I don't know, Dale. So it's Tom. Look at the scoreboard. You can tell me to coach this game? Defense showing blitz. 5:06 to go. Minnesota up by a field goal. 4-yard line. Short pass to Adam Thielen. Defense run King again. He wants something on his own card with a 16 minutes. Picked off 2 to 7 to 12. Intercepted. Why did he go full house and pound it in? Or settle for the field goal? That's the way to go there. Defense. Late in the game. Intercepted by Quentin Demps in the end zone. Touchback. Seattle at their own 20. A left guard blocking reading. That would have been 3 or 4 yards, maybe a touchdown. Flat pass left Rex Burkhead, I guess right 5 yards. 25. I'm saying you have to get a touchdown. I know the completion brings it to you, but 4 wide and a halfback from the 4. You had Melvin Gordon in the backfield. Run the ball a few times. Run the clock down. You might get a touchdown just on your blocking. Call. Dennis liked it. Fly pass right, Julian on the defense, double teaming elsewhere. White dice 6, 7 yards in the first down. Flat passing for Dennis here tonight. Part of that is that Dale's been flooding. Been our first and second down, but Dennis has been snake bit this quarter going for that after not doing it a whole lot in the first half. It was walking attempts, flat pass left to Rex Burkhead. White dice 6 makes it a 10-yard completion. Sal's up to the 42, and now they only need a field goal to tie. Kicking himself over that offensive formation and play call series down there. If not, there'll be some Viking fans ready to kick him off tackle left to Burkhead gets right. I'm not trying to kill you, Dale. I'm sorry. Just saying. Offensive onside, M plus 7 plus 2, 2 yards. Zalmo could not make the block. 2nd and 8 for the Seahawks at their own 44. .318 to go. Dennis has still got work to do here. Off tackle left to Burkhead. He wants that 6 or 7. Defensive tackle plus 1 plus 7. And Nick Fairley makes the play for the 2nd time in a row. Dennis is talking about fudge, but he's not really talking about fudge. Robbie Gould's 2 to 10 for the 22 to 32, but no good from further than that. 2:42 to go. Dennis needs this. It's going to be a running play with Ingram. He's done it before. Will Dale call run here? Probable end run with Ingram, setting up a 4th and short if necessary. Tackle. Probably end run. And right for Ingram. Defensive end plus 1 and plus 5. The 5 makes the play. William Golston. There's 3 yards to break containment. 6 with 2:06 to go. He's going to get all 3 timeouts. Dennis Crowley decision time. Go for it, yes. Because if you fail, you can still give a field goal and win the game after getting a kick return. By the time the guy gets into field goal range, I guess there won't be time, but what do you do? It's 2:06 to go. You got to go for it, I guess. 3 wide, 1 halfback from the pistol with Tyreek Hill back there. Dump off is very much in play. I haven't seen that much for Dennis. Something he's too scared of because of a flooded zone. Went for the short pass so that even if you double team, maybe the dump off bails you out. Maybe get one true double team from the safety if he doesn't flood. And it's trying to pick a target here. It's probably the safest one. Tate's not that good in the short pass. Long pass, Golden Tate. Back there. Dale's flooding. Guts risky call by Dennis. Picked off 2 to 6 and 12. picked off on the defense, but he should drop it and deflect it if he chooses to. If he's aware of that. And yes, he deflects the pass. They're just knocking it down. And the Minnesota Vikings, a major upset. They lead the Seattle Seahawks 27-24, 6-yard line. 4 wide, 1 halfback. What else would you run out the clock from? Because he'll still run with Howard, looking past to Howard. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Dennis says, give me an incompletion, please. 2-yard completion. Dale says, I will take that because it moves the clock. Timeout. 2nd down and 8. I've called a couple of these games. I called one very rough playoff loss for Dennis a few years ago against Jay when he was up 10 with the ball, like 4 minutes left. Fumbled that like his own 20. Now a defense run king, but not in the line, but only in the line buck. +4, a 1-yard loss. Thanks to Ladarius Webb. He was a 5 safety. At the Seattle 45, then it's only has 1 timeout left. If you run the ball, you make him use his final timeout. Short pass Adam Thielen, but you have probably no chance of the first down virtually. 7-10 yards in the first down. I was talking about on the running play. 10-yard completion from Horry to Thielen. First down Vikings at the Seattle 35. Then it's his last time out. The game's over. The clock. He got 2 interceptions, like a Dennis's own 25-yard line, and a 62-yard punt return, all in the 4th quarter. Half minutes to complete his comeback and defeat the not defending champion in this league. To defeat the great Seattle Seahawks, the mighty Seattle Seahawks, 13-3, number 2 seed, best coach around. Dale Rip is going to the semifinals with Brian Hoyer running the 4 wide. Tremendous job, Dale. I thought he should have gone for the future, of course, of the offseason. He's trading for veteran 5s in the defense. What is there to say? It was all Crowley all the time in the first half. He went up 24-3. Dale was down 14-0. Went for a 4th and 7. Out of 47. Early in the second quarter, he didn't get it. Cashed it in for a touchdown to go 21-0. It was 24-3. Seahawks at halftime. I think Dale got the ball to start the second half. Drive minute 20 for 10. And when did he get his first interception? Was that the 3rd quarter? No, it wasn't until the 4th quarter. He got a flat pass, long gain on a wide die 6, snake eyes, 30-yard completion instead of just 2-yard Jordan Allen touchdown run and make it 24-17. Which already showed you, all right, now we got a game, but you still think Dennis was in good shape. 4th quarter, 12:54 to go. A short pass, 3 men picked up 2 to 4, 11 to 12, or first down on like 3rd and 8. Dennis rolled a 4, picked off. Got it in Seattle territory. Vikings then did the infamous full house draw down around the Seattle 14. Costing themselves a first down, having it over for a field goal. They're down 24-20. Got to kick off to Dennis. Kicks off to Dennis. We had Russell Wilson picked off again around his own 20-25 after you factor in the return. As double team 4 men, 2 to 6 and 12 on the defense card. This time Dale cashed it in for a touchdown in the double box. Took a 27-24 lead. Dennis got stopped. Punt was returned 62 yards by Dale. A net 11 punt. Again, to around the Seattle 20 or something. Got it down to first and goal to 4. Stayed 4 wide with 4:48 to go in a 3-point lead inexplicably. Another pass Foreman picked off inexplicably. That you would do that, I think. In this particular matchup, every matchup and situation is different. And the ball back, moved that toward midfield, had to go for the 4th down. Dale ran out the clock. 27-24. Vikings on the road over Seattle. Upset special. The Vikings in the semifinals. Believe it? Brian Hoyer. Unbelievable. Two interceptions and a 62-yard punt return in the last 10 minutes. Hurt your chances at victory. And Dennis really didn't do anything wrong there. One of those was on a double team with 4 men, but So now you got the Vikings advancing. And they're going to travel, of course, because they're the 8th seed, and they'll take on. They'll head to San Diego or New York, depending the results of those games. Ron and I did not finish our game today. Almost finished it. Came very close to finishing it. Didn't finish our game today. We'll conclude it tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night, I'll be calling the Houston and San Diego game. The deal was that Dennis won. He called the game. If he lost, I'd call the game. We're both a little busy. So it was like a 50-50 deal. Call the game. I don't know. But I'll be calling Houston and San Diego. Very tough loss for Dennis. I mean, to lose a playoff game is one thing. To lose it that way. Congratulations to Dale, who will now listen to this game. Opinion on full house backfield draw plays. And maybe he'll put that one in the back pocket for a while. We'll see. Congratulations to him. He didn't give up. He kept fighting. Came back for a miracle. Not a miracle, but a great comeback in this upset. And as Herman Edwards once said, hello, that's why you play the game. But, you've got to play the games. You never know what's going to happen. Amazing. Unbelievable. I'm going to sign off. See you guys tomorrow. You might check in at 11:45 a.m. Eastern if you're home to the Packers at Jets playoff game. And then tomorrow night, I think it's 7:30. I'm not sure. I'll have to check and write in the form. You have Texans at Chargers. As only 6 teams remain alive in Atlanta and Minnesota have already advanced. Packers, Jets. And we're not going to sign off now because some rumblings in the background. My screen tell us it is none other than Dennis Crowley.
Hey, what's up? How bizarre was that one?
That was unbelievable. I was unbelievable.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Very tough loss, Dennis. I was thinking. Good.
So bizarre things turned around there in the second part. I said it's just so unusual for that to be like such a 180. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking near the very end of the game. I was thinking about one of the first playoff games I think I called, but one of the early ones certainly, that SSFA playoff game against Jay Villing, where you had the ball with like a 10-point lead, like 4 minutes to go at like your own 23, fumble, like a very low fumble number, and you fumbled it, he recovered, and he did some kind of score. Off. He scored again, and that was it. And you're like, no chance. Like, you know, go ahead, Dennis. What?
No, I was just gonna say, like when I go through the second half possessions, I mean, it just was landing on the wrong spots. The turnovers obviously, changed things completely. The fumble and 2 picks back-to-back possessions. That kind of stuff, you should never like give up. If you're losing, you don't know how quickly things can turn around. And I'm sure I could have ran the ball more when I was throwing those picks, but a couple of them were on. I think one of them was on 3rd down. So I mean, you're throwing on 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 7. You got to.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. I mean, because I was going to say, for calling enough run that when Burkhead first came in the game, you didn't call run for a while, and you ran with Burkhead a few times, and then he started calling some run against Burkhead, which makes you think, oh, this guy might call run. Now the first interception was on like a 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8. You had to throw the ball. Only 3 minutes zone. It's early 4th quarter. It's not like it's time to round the clock there. Only 3 minutes. It was 24-10 or 24-17 already by that point. I forget. Yeah. But yeah, it was a normal passing situation, and you got interception 2 to 4, 11 and 12, or first down on his card. Roll 4. So
a little bit kind of split there. That would have been appreciated, but.
Yeah, a much different game. That we probably not enough time, and he gets the first down there. He gets the interception there, and that it was into these interceptions, but they're all like in your territory, and that getting the ball at your 24-yard line. What were you thinking? Because I was rather detailed. I displeasure with it. What were you thinking when he ran a draw play from the full house backfield?
I just don't think he understands the rule, maybe, because, or maybe he's remembering something I did before. Because there have been times when somebody's doing a full house, and I know they won't call a draw, so I'll just call pass and put the linebackers up. But I'm not sure if that's what was going on there. He was remembering that play or a play like that, or if he just wasn't understanding the rules. That it makes it really easy to call, shows me full house. I'm going to go either short yardage or double team one of their better receivers, because that's the 2 options on that formation from the offensive standpoint. You can't throw flat. If you do, you risk throwing a pick. Or getting 2 minute zone.
Yeah, well, the free safety is going to go into any zone, so receiving targets, you don't even have to double team. You might just call pass and take your chances, depending. But you might have that sneaky matchup with a running back against an outside linebacker.
When I saw the formation, I go short yardage, and then I was expecting him. My worst fear was he would go short to Amari Cooper.
Okay. I mean, no one is saying that full house is going to call run, or automatically the defense is going to call run. But with the full house, there's enough of a chance that the defense is going to call run that you should really never, ever run a draw play from the full house. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, maybe he just misclicked. Maybe it was intentional.
That's what I said. I hope it was a misclick. I hope it was a misclick. But when he did that, because now he did that in 2nd and 1, and lost a yard, it would have been 4 yards at a straight run call.
Right, exactly.
For Jordan Howard, they give him first down to 10. Instead, he gets 3rd and 2.
Like I said in the chat.
And then gets hit with a loss on 3rd and has to kick a field goal. Now he's down 24-20. And instead of having 3 cracks at the end zone to make it 24-24, got away with one there. And then your next possession is when you threw the interception double team.
Yeah. No, I shouldn't have forced it to Marvin Jones so much. That was a problem. Calls and for a big hit. And that never came about. Russell, a really bad outing, that's for sure. That's one of the worst I've ever seen.
He forced it to Marvin. I know he double teamed him correctly a couple of times, but you were running the ball a lot. You were throwing to Edelman a fair amount. You were, I think Dale did call a very good defensive game, though. Overall,
I love his the squib kick every time. That's brilliant. I mean, there's nothing against it in the rules. And there really was no bad results for him on that, except for like snake.
Yeah, I really have to look at the exact rule, the exact yardage, when that's good and when it's not good. But certainly against certain kick returners, that might be the way to go. If you have good opponent coverage and the kick returners are bad, that maybe that's when a good time to, like, normally you think, oh, I'm going to squib kick against a great kick returner, right? If the guy is not good and your opponent is good, get him short of the 25 most of the time, because those kicks didn't go to the 8 to 10 yard line or something like that,
Yeah, it's definitely a strategy to look into for sure.
Yeah, and then so you throw another pick and he scores a touchdown. Now it's like, oh my God, field goal to tie here, and there's only 4:40, and there's only there's 6:54 to go. You go 3 and out, and then he returns the punt 62 yards. So I mean, in the span of from 12:54 minutes of game clock, Dennis, 12:54 to 6:54. Okay, you threw an interception, 2 to 4, 11 to 12. That would have been a first down on 3rd and 8.
Pretty cool.
An interception. You threw an interception, 4 men double teamed. And then you had a negative 11 net punt. And then he comes down to, and then he comes, I mean, that's horrible luck there for 6 minutes in a playoff game in a big spot. Then he gets that 1st and goal to 4. Field running in, settle for the field goal if I have to. No, he stays 4 wide. Throws the first down pass incomplete. Second down, he throws a pass defense with 4 men in zone because you're in a nickel. And in the 4-yard line, 5 inch offensive line, he gets intercepted in your car. What were you thinking when that? I was like, he has to 3 times in a row and see if he gets a blocking rating. If he doesn't, I guess I settle for the field goal and happy about it. But I don't want to throw there into the 4-man good column from the 4-yard line at 1st and goal when I have the lead with 4:48 to go. Don't you think? Yes. Yeah, we can't hear you, Dennis, if you're talking. But yeah, so that's what happened then. But congratulations to Dale. The defensively called a real good game. Offensively did normal things. A couple of spots. I didn't like the calls down with the goal line at the end. And but otherwise, he called a very good game for both sides. It's a great season, all season. And he's down the semifinal. Then if he lost you, stuff. But thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning. If you can catch the end of Packers Jets. Right. San Diego, Houston at San Diego, rather. Maybe Dennis will be there for that one, maybe not. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.